If you're looking for the safest car in the world, this is it.
You'd call the performance quite good if this were a boat. And that means you're never really going fast enough to have a crash. Of course, if someone runs into you, well, you're never going to know. There are some drawbacks, though, chief among which is having a conversation in here. The 4 seats, and there are only 4, are so far apart they're in different time zones. Then you've got the enormous rattly 6.5-litre turbo diesel engine sort of here in the middle of the room. And then you've got the torque converters in the wheels, which sound like giant nuclear-powered pepper grinders.
And the problems aren't limited to talking. There are other issues too. Can you guess what they are?
Oh, this is a narrow street, and somebody's parked on it. What a stupid place to park. You realise people have got big American military vehicles they need to get through? I fear I may be causing a few problems here. Sorry. Now what on earth are we going to do? I'm going to have to back up. That's about 14 cars. This is just the end of the world as we know it. Sorry. Sorry. They're very good-natured people here. If I tried this anywhere else, I'd have had my head kicked in by now.
The worst thing about the Humvee, though, is not the size or the noise. It's that as you drive along, you can see people on the pavements all mouthing the same thing.
This is a terrible car. But now, General Motors has bought the rights to make civilian versions of the Humvee, and they've introduced a new version, which is kinder to the environment and softer on your skin.
This is it, the Humvee H2.
It's available in Britain right now with left-hand drive for £60,000. And that seems like quite a lot when you peel away this amazing body and find out what's underneath.
Yep, underneath the abs and the pecs is a GMC Tahoe, which is ugly, big, slow, and completely flummoxed by snow, mud, gravel, soil, grass clippings, drizzle, or even a light breeze. It's rubbish. As a result, the H2 is not going to win any wars. If the Americans ever decide Britain needs a regime change, they won't be storming over the White Cliffs in one of these. Then there's the fuel consumption. I tested an H2 in the desert last year and got 3.3 miles to the gallon.
Unbelievably, it's even worse on the road. If I put my foot down now, the fuel consumption meter thing here is saying I'm doing 1 mile to the gallon. 1! You see, the problem is that while it's smaller and lighter and easier to thread through town than the original Hummer, it still weighs nearly 4 tons. And it has a 6-litre V8 petrol engine.
Don't think that makes it fast, though. You can do what you want with the macho gear lever, but you still won't go. And it stops like a duck on a frozen lake. The thing is, though, that if I may liken most cars to little black dresses, this is a full ball gown, with sequins and a bustle. And look at that row of lights on the roof. That's a tiara.
It's a Roman orgy, a Hawaiian barbecue, a Viennese waltz, and a helicopter gunship attack on Las Vegas, all rolled into one. It's fabulous.
Yes, it's thirsty and hopeless and expensive, but I like it. Unlike the H1, it feels like a car to drive. It's quiet and refined and quite well equipped. It's even practical. If we look in the back, we find that, unlike the H1, there are 3 seats in there. And look at this. A handle so robust, not even a 6-year-old could break it. Then we come round to the back, open the boot with another man-sized handle, and inside we find another seat and space for a dog. And if we lower this, like so, there's space for 2 dogs. So, if you concentrate really hard, you can justify this thing. I have. I've managed to convince myself that it's a sensible family saloon. My wife's not so sure, but, you know, given time, she'll come round to my way of thinking. What you have to understand is that the H2 makes you feel like a 7-year-old boy. And for that alone, you have to love it.
You're not seriously suggesting that this revolting plastic-fronted piece of pig iron is a serious alternative to something like an X5?
It's fantastic.
It's revolting.
Slightly revolting, I admit, but the point of this is that it reminds you what it is that you love about cars in the first place. Every journey in this is an event. You just think, it's great, I want to go into town. I'll save up and come back.